Of course, the trips to different destinations during this trip, they are feeding into each other. So, of course, in Israel, HRVP is conveying not only EU's understanding, EU message of solidarity, but also the calls for the release of the hostages, calls for caution or restraint when it comes to protection of civilians. Of course, this is very important. This is a very important part. He is conveying our messages, our concerns, our expectations, because we are talking to friends. When we are in Israel, HRVP is in Israel as a friend of Israel, representing the EU as a friend of Israel. And one basic precondition of a partnership based on friendship is that we listen to each other. So yes, I'm sure that the Israeli partners were listening to High Representative, because not only because it's a polite thing to do in diplomacy, but because he is the carrier of the message of 27 member states. And it's very difficult to talk about the outcomes. I think the only outcome, what people would like to see, would be the stop of hostilities and stop of the suffering of people. But we still see that hostages are being held, that rockets are being fired, that Israel still continues their operation in Gaza. So this is part of the process. And part of the process is interaction with the partners, delivering the messages, delivering the expectations, and trying to find the way out jointly. And this is what the trip is about. This is what the interactions are about. High Representative will, of course, debrief foreign ministers on Monday during this informal video conference about what was discussed, what's the latest, what are developments. Then Foreign Minister of Saudi Arabia will also join the meeting and will share the views of these two important organizations, the OIC and League of Arab States, the Organization of Islamic Conference and League of Arab States. And all this is part of the concentrated outreach, not only by the European Union and its representatives, but also the international community, because there are many actors who are really keen to see the end of the suffering on the Israeli side and on the Palestinian side. So this is a process, very important part of the process, but the process will still continue until it brings the desired outcomes in form of stopping the violence and then restart of the political process for finding the solution, the two-state solution, which is also part of the very important messaging High Representative has in the region.
Thank you. Indeed, the EU is sparing no effort to contribute to solving the situation, to the protection of civilians, release of the hostages. The HRVP is in the region. The President is going to be in the region as of tonight. I think it's a very clear signal of attention and of engagement on this matter. Other questions for us on this topic?